It's unprecedented, it's top secret, and it is highly controversial. A move that has shaken up the American military, and at the center of it is a mysterious summon. It came from Pentagon Chief Pate Hegseth this week. The Pentagon, as you would know, is the U.S. Defense Ministry, and Pate Hegseth is the Defense Minister. He has summoned hundreds of senior U.S. military officers to Virginia, specifically to a Marine Corps base. We're talking about scores of generals and admirals, people who command hundreds of soldiers. All of them will pack into an auditorium next Tuesday. Why? Well, that is the strange part. No one knows. Pate Hegseth has not given a reason for this summon. Even Pentagon officials are tight-lipped. They did confirm next week's meeting, but on the agenda, they said nothing. Even President Donald Trump appeared blindsided. Yesterday, he was asked about this gathering, and Trump did not have a clue. He thought it was a gathering of foreign generals in Virginia. So his deputy, Vice President J.D. Vance, had to step in.
Secretary Hegseth is inviting military leaders from all around the country on Tuesday. Will you also be there?
From all around the country to what?
To
Virginia. He's
inviting the generals and admirals to Virginia for a big meeting.
Well, I know. I love it. I mean, I think it's great. Let him be friendly. Let him be friendly with the generals and admirals from all over the world. Why is there something? No, but is there something wrong with it?
What is it about? Will you be there personally as well? And what is it about?
Well, I'll be there if they want me. But why is that such a big deal? I mean, the fact that we're getting along with the generals and admirals from all. Remember, I'm the president of peace. It's good to get along. It's good. You act like this is a bad thing. Isn't it nice that people are coming from all over the world to be with us?
It's not particularly unusual that generals who report to the Secretary of War and then to the President of the United States are coming to speak with the Secretary of War. It's actually not unusual at all, and I think it's odd that you guys have made it into such a big story.
Let's talk some numbers first. The U.S. military has 800 officers at the level of general. 800. 44 of them are four-star generals, meaning the senior-most military officers of the United States of America, and many of them serve abroad. They are in charge of U.S. military commands overseas, like in Africa, in the Indo-Pacific, in West Asia. Which makes you wonder, what's cooking? What is the Pentagon up to? We'll look at the possible explanations, but first let's look at the build-up. Pate Hegseth is not a typical Pentagon chief. He is a former television host with a sketchy past. He's been accused of sexual assault. He's had trouble with alcoholism, and he's never held a public office before. So why did Donald Trump pick him? Well, for his absolute loyalty. After taking charge, Pate Hegseth has tried to reshape the U.S. military. In the month of May, he ordered a downsizing, a 20% cut in four-star generals, and a 10% cut in other generals. He has also fired dozens of senior officers. Many of them were people of color and women. Pate Hegseth fired them. He says the U.S. military was becoming too woke. So his solution? To restore a so-called warrior ethos.
And from day one, and each 100 of those days, our overriding objectives have been clear. Restoring the warrior ethos, rebuilding our military, and reestablishing deterrence. Restoring the warrior ethos is the most fundamental of those three. Everything starts and ends with warriors in training and on the battlefield. We are leaving wokeness and weakness behind and refocusing on lethality, meritocracy, accountability, standards, and readiness.
That's Pate Hegseth in a nutshell. He's unpredictable and temperamental, which is why the U.S. military leadership is worried. Reports say the top rank is anxious and concerned by his summons. Now we come to the possibilities. One is strategic. Perhaps the Pentagon wants to brief its generals, maybe unveil a new top-secret strategy. And there's context here. The U.S. is reportedly publishing a new defense strategy. In recent years, it has focused on China, meaning countering Beijing was the top security challenge for America. But reports say that will be updated. The new top priority will be the homeland, meaning internal American security. Things like securing the border, drugs and immigration. That's what they should focus on. And if that is the case, It could be discussed at the meeting. The second possibility is that this meeting could be political, maybe a briefing on the new warrior ethos, maybe a guidance on how to crack down on woke ideas, or maybe a full rebrand exercise. Again, there's context here. Trump recently renamed the US Defense Department. It is now the Department of War. So with this US administration, you never really know, and with Pate Hegseth, even more so. Not only does he have an unpredictable streak, he's also known to go rogue. Let's go back to the first weeks of Trump's second term. Out of nowhere, cargo planes carrying weapons for Ukraine were grounded, 11 of them in Doha and Delaware. Nobody knew what had happened. The order did not come from the White House. It did not come from the American generals. It did not even come from the vice president. So Washington was confused. As it turned out, Pate Hegseth was the one who gave that order. That too without Trump's knowledge. Is this meeting also one such rogue move? I'm afraid we can't be sure, but it does carry several strategic implications. As you know, the US is the most powerful military in the world. It is deployed in hotspots across the globe, in West Asia, in the South China Sea, and in Eastern Europe. Their presence is a vital deterrence against military aggression. For example, against Chinese designs on Taiwan. Yet, Pate Hegseth is summoning generals away from their post. Also, it sounds like an intelligence nightmare. Just imagine the scenes on Tuesday, hundreds of top generals huddling under the same roof. It's a big logistical and security challenge. Let's see if the meeting's agenda lives up to the hype.